there, Taurus, and welcome back to Star Lotus Tarot. This is your tarot forecast for the week of June the 15th through to the 21st. I went ahead, shuffled the cards, laid them all out. See what's going on for Taurus. First up, we have the Four of Swords reversed, followed then by Major Arcana, the Moon, not the Moon, sorry, the Fool. And then we have Major Arcana, the Hermit. And next we have the Six of Swords upright and the Ten of Wands upright. Okay, let's see. I kind of chuckled at this because when I saw this right off the hop, it's like the Four of Swords is about returning to action, right? It's like we're no longer idle no more, and now we're on the move again. And then right away the Fool card comes up, so that's so perfect because this is all about, you know, taking that leap of faith, moving forward. So I just thought I'd share that with you because that's why I chuckled at the beginning. But the Four of Swords in reverse as your overall energy is really about that. It's about sort of springing back into action. It could be for some of you, maybe you were experiencing the Four of Swords in the upright, which could be a rest for many different reasons. Sometimes the Four of Swords can be rest and recuperation after a serious emotional difficulty, such as a loss or a breakup or something like that. Could be where we need to go into sort of like that hermit's repose where we just pull back and need to take care of ourselves. And sometimes this can be physical, on the physical front. Maybe sometimes we've had, you know, some bad illness that we're struggling to, you know, recover from. Could be an operation that we're recuperating from. So when the card is reversed like this is like springing back into action. So when you spring back into action and you got to get moving again, there could be several reasons for it. Now, I think this is really cool because we have the Fool here. And the Fool is, remember, the beginning of the journey. This is where we have to sort of take that leap of faith. We may not know in some area of life. Remember, this general read, so some of you, this is about a relationship. Maybe some of you ended a relationship and now you're ready to sort of, you know, jump back on that relationship wheel again. And perhaps there's a new beginning here for some of you. For others of you, this could be about a work situation, a project, you know, however it pertains, if it does pertain to you. If this resonates for you, you're ready. At the beginning of the week, it looks like to just jump in with both feet. But remember, Taurus is a earth sign, okay? Very grounded people. Some people, like some of the air signs, will just like, poof, you know, jump off a cliff and just trust it. But when it comes to the earth people, earth sign people tend to be more practical than that. So this is funny because now I totally understand what the Hermit is doing here, following the Fool. Because now the Hermit is here. This is where it looks very much to me like, Taurus, like you're coming out of a situation where you could have been laid up for some reason. Like I said, could have been physical, could have been depression even, you know, and maybe now you're like snapping out of it and you're like, wow, I got to get something going here. I got to do this. And you do that, but then you realize with the Hermit energy here, unless you're dealing with the Virgo, and maybe it's both, but you have to kind of go within. Like, see, the Hermit is all about, unlike the Hermit's repose, this is all about healing. When this comes up, the reason we go into the Hermit phase is sometimes because we need to go either within to try and find some answers to a situation we could be struggling with. But sometimes the Hermit is about needing to do some research where we need to pull back and really hit the books, that kind of thing. We need to really delve into something, so we need to block out the world. And that's kind of what it's interesting. It's like you have this option for a new beginning here, but you have to do some research or looking into it, which is only practical. Like I said, it makes sense to the earth sign, right? That you would like, whoa, I have to cool my jets here, even though I want to get moving so quickly. You got to look into something. It's like you need to know what's going on here, what's happening, or what the way forward is. And the way forward is the the energy of the Six of Swords here in the upright position, which points to what? Moving on. We're moving on from emotional difficulties. Like I said, some of you were perhaps healing from a breakup or an emotional loss. It could be any kind of, we all go through periods in our lives where we lose something or someone to death at some point, or it leaves our lives. So we do need to heal, but it looks like you guys are healing from something and you're now on your way to moving on. So if any of you have been suffering or dealing with a severe breakup or a bad loss or depression, it could be this week you see yourself finally moving on from that energy, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And the last card we have here, this is a very odd reading in a way. It's like stop, go, stop, go. And now the last card we have here is the Ten of Wands. So this is really interesting, because the Ten of Wands is about hitting that, sort of maximum, I cannot take on this burden any longer. That's it. The Ten of Wands represents an excessive burden. So for some of you, if you're working too hard, I always suggest in this card to delegate. It's that kind of thing. But there's something interesting about this particular reading. It's like stop, go. Here we have you're returning because you're healed now. And here's the let's get going. But then here's the wait, stop. We have to look at something closer and let's move on. And then, oh my goodness, this is a burden. So it's interesting how it's flowing into all of this. It kind of looks like, you're moving on emotionally from a situation, but maybe for some of you, the burden here is something you need to let go of. Maybe that's why you want to start anew. Say, for example, you want to make a fresh start in your life. You want to branch out. You want to let go of a relationship or a job or something like that. But then you think, whoa, wait a minute. I got to think about this. And then you're ready to move on, but maybe you have to drop a burden, because tens can sometimes represent the ending of something. So maybe you need to drop a burden. Either that or the direction you're going into, Taurus, could be proving a bit of a burden, or maybe it's a lot of work or a lot of worries. I don't know. You'll have to leave a comment in the comment section below. It's one of the more interesting readings you guys have had in a while. So that is your reading. I hope it helped. If it did, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.